Hi everyone, this is Hilda. Here I am in Wilson, North Carolina. I am talking to my Aunt May. I call her my Aunt May because that's what she is. She's my Aunt May. She is the one that has taken care of me over the years, and even today I respect Aunt May. If she tell me to be quiet, sit down, I still do it because I have respect for her. Aunt May, it is a pleasure. It is an honor to be interviewing you because I consider you the leader of the family because everyone has moved on. Again, this is Hilda. Aunt May, can you tell me? You were raised with us back in the Dunhoe. Matter of fact, I know you remember a lot. Can you tell me about the Dunhoe and how do you feel being raised back there?
Well, it's just like this, honey. To tell you, I had to be raised where my dad brought me up at. Um, it wasn't anywhere I really wanted to live, but I had no other choice. But there a lot of stuff went on back there that I really didn't care for. Kept me frightened, and there was just a lot of things went on with the snakes and the big fish and the Klansman and whatever. But when my dad brought them in the house and they started living with us, sleeping with us at night, and it was just plain and simple. He plainly told them, "I got girls. Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands off my daughters. We'll be all right."
Well, Aunt
Um,
May, speaking of the Klansmen, I just feel, God has put this on my heart, and I have told all my viewers and everybody one that has supported me over the years. And a lot of people don't understand it. I mean, we were raised in the house with the Ku Klux Klan as one family under one roof. Do you see them any different? I mean, do you see them different because they was living at us as a family, and like you said, granddad, he didn't play. Do you see any difference in that being raised in the house with them?
no, because to me, humans are humans, and back at that time, I really didn't get really what the perspective of a Klansman was.
Do you think that okay? So we was raised in the house with the with the Klansmen, and we consider as a family. I can't remember any time being afraid because we ate together, like you said. We slept together. We did everything together. We played together. And do you feel that it made you a different person today to accept anyone regardless of the color of their skin?
No, it does not. No, it does not.
Do you see everybody the same?
Everybody always been the same with me because we all come in different colors.
Do you feel like by being raised back there in the Dunny hole, when you think about it, we was like in a world of our own, Aunt May, because we was isolated. We weren't really out there. We didn't really see a lot. But do you think you remember? I remember you, my favorite aunt, and can you remember when you told me about there was a battle, a gunfight with the Klansmen in Kinston, North Carolina, coming to Stantonburg to fight the Klansmen, the shootout in the house with us. Can you tell me what that all about?
I think it was more so jealousy. I'm thinking, this is my perspective of it. As me being not quite a teenager at that time, that um, it was due to the fact they didn't like because the clans lived in the house with us. I think that's what it all boiled down to.
Can you remember the cross burnings in the yard? Who was burning them crosses, Aunt May?
The clansmen,
Which Klansman? Was it Klansman in the area, the one living with us, the one from other counties? Who was burning those crosses in our yard?
the ones from other counties. I mean, my dad, he was a good person. He didn't have no respected person. We loved each and every person that we met, and we still do. I think what the fight was that they was trying to scare us off from our homes due to the fact that they knew that we had Klansmen living in the home with us, and they didn't really understand what was going on during that time. But that was the type of people we were. We do not see are different in color so far as being respected.
Aunt May, I agree with you. I tell you, even being a grown woman now, I can really agree with you. I still don't see people, even though their skins is a different color than my own skin. It doesn't matter to me. Can you tell me? I was just interviewing Mr. Freddie. He was talking about the man. You remember back in the Dunhoe, there's a story where a lady head was chopped off. This man killed his wife, and as if today, I have a brother. We have a brother that lives in the area. He said that they still could see this lady walking around looking for her head. Do you know about that story?
I heard of it, but to be honest, I never saw her. I never saw her. But I've heard many tales behind that. I never saw the lady. I never saw her.
Can you think of any other stories that was told in the scary stories in the Dunning Hole? I mean, there's a lot of mystery that went in that Dunning Hole. Like Mr. Freddie just told us about a snake that was wide, 6 inches wide, and they grow 7 to 8 feet. I remember some big snakes and big everything back there. Everything just grow so much bigger, Aunt May. What what did you see when you were back there? What's the biggest snake you ever seen?
Honey, I'm not gonna be honest. I've seen a snake as big as a car tire. He was so big until he could not crawl. He rolled. We had these two doctors in Stantonburg named, one was Dr. Wilson and one was Dr. Bedingfield. And I guess because we lived so far back, we really didn't have transportation. But from time to time, one of the other Dr. Wilson or either Dr. Bedingfield will come back to check on them. And many a time they have ran over that snake. But to my point in time, as long as I can remember, I've never known anyone to kill that snake, but he was big as a car tire. Honestly.
Oh, I believe you, Aunt May, because like I said, I was a little girl, but I just remember seeing a lot back there. And Freddie, Mr. Freddie, I talked to the Shingletons, everybody that I have been interviewing. They always talking about this Dunning Hole. That Dunning Hole is no joke. You all hear me say a lot about it, and Aunt May, I know she remember a lot about it more so than I did. And like you talking about this snake. I remember you was telling me one of my uncles, I love my uncles, or one of them, quite all of them pretty much deceased except for my Uncle Pal. Can you remember you telling me how they used to jump on the back of the snake? One of the snakes back there?
Him and my brother Jimmy, I'm quite sure the ones that know me by looking at my face, him and my brother Jimmy used to run them down. And he would have Jimmy to jump on them, jump on their bike. And he take his little pocket knife and stick it in the head. And that's how they killed the smaller one. Maybe those will be the size of a Coca-Cola bottle, a Pepsi-Cola bottle.
They're still pretty big, Aunt May.
I know, but they would do it. They were just tough boys like that.
Okay, I tell you, boy, I just think about it, about going back there. The strange thing about it, Aunt May, I'm still not afraid of that dunny hole. I will go back there, and I actually will go back there now, and I don't know if I would go spend the night back there, but I'm not afraid of it. Okay, can you tell me about our cousins that live right behind us? Because, you know, we always family. You had all the Klansmen, and you had whites that wasn't Klansmen. Then we had the Lucas family. Can you tell me about them? Because I can remember, Aunt May, everything you told me just about. You talked about how we used to share food and with the Lucas family. And I remember my dad said that they used to run through the cornfields shooting, at people, because he would go home. My dad was as strong as a lot of people, so they would actually shoot at people. Can you tell me about the Lucas family and how we was raised with them, a.k.a. Frank Lucas?
They were the greatest peoples. They were the greatest peoples. Grandmama Haley, Papa Fred. I know them all. Lawrence, Ezel, Hugh Vaughn, Lee Vaughn. I knew them all. Matter of fact, one of them live right here in Wilson now. Lawrence Lucas.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I can remember making mug cakes for the Lucas family, because I remember walking with you to their house back there in the Dunning Hole, and back in the day, I was making, I was naive, making mud cakes and thinking somebody eating my mud cakes. And I can
Yes,
remember,
did.
you remember me making them mud
Yes,
cakes,
you
Aunt May?
did.
And then I said to myself, okay, so I really thought they were eating my mud cakes and they didn't. I found out they won't eating them, so I can remember crying going all the way home. But that was way back in the day. Can you tell me, Aunt May, getting back to you, Aunt May, because you really never did live your childhood. What is some of the worst hardship that you saw in the Dunhoe?
Raising my sisters and brothers. My mom passed when I was 16. My dad worked out of town, and I had to raise my sisters and brothers. But I promised myself and them that when I turned 18 and got out of school, that I would have a place of our own and our own furniture. Due to the fact my dad moved another family in, so we all got along. But with this 12 head of us, 3 growner than I was. 2 of my older brothers, they worked out of town. My brother that was autistic, I had to look out for him. Some days one would have to stay home and watch him because he was not capable of going to school. So I did just that. When I got out of school, I had already been saving my money, my little pennies, and then I got a job in Elm City at a sewing factory. I saved that money. I bought used furniture, and within 7 to 8 months, I was out. I never went back home.
Well, Aunt May, now, I can remember some more about you. Like I say, you raised me. You raised a lot of us, and you just never did a lot to enjoy yourself in life. Man, what about that cooking? I just remember back in that Dunhoe, y'all used to cook 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and my dad would let me go out. I tried every day to go out with my little baggy blue dress on. I wanted to go and see what the men were doing. And my dad said, Hilda Grace, you need to learn how to cook. And I still don't know how to cook because I didn't want to learn how to cook. Why do y'all cook so much?
Because we had to eat, honey, because we work hard.
But 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Aunt May, that was a lot of cooking.
Yes, ma'am, had to feed the children. Grow strong. For them to grow strong, being able to protect themselves.
How old were you, Aunt May, when you first started cooking?
12 years old.
12 years old.
Yes, I was, because my mama was not able. And I remember specifically, I had to cook one day, and I wanted to cook some black-eyed peas. And when my dad came home, I was standing up in a wooden plank chair over a gas stove. And I had a big old serving spoon. And I had the pot half full of water and about a 2-pound pack of peas and constantly stirring. And my dad asked me, what the hell are you doing standing in the chair? And I told him I'm cooking. He said, what you cooking, baby? I said, black-eyed pea. He said, well, I'll be damned. You don't have to stand in the chair to cook the pea. The pea gonna cook by itself. Get your A down, sit down, and constantly just go back and check your peas. Don't never let me catch you hanging over that stove. But I knew I had to cook to feed my sisters and brothers along with the other family that was in the house with us. I fed the children.
I know, Aunt May. I can remember all of your cooking. Aunt May, let's talk about that Dunhoe. Why was it so different in the Dunhoe, Aunt May? That's where I learned a lot as a little girl. Why was it so different for us? We were brought up during that Jim Crow era, when blacks and whites didn't supposed to mingle or mix. But we didn't pay attention to the Jim Crow laws. We just pretty much did what we wanted to do, and our granddad definitely was going to do what he wanted to do. Why do you think it was so different for us?
To my perspective, as growing up as a kid, my dad was a very protected father. Not only for his girls, but for his sons as well.
Yes.
He stood behind us through the schooling, through the going to the stores, to walking the road, even when we go in Stantonburg. He said, those are my kids. If they do something wrong, come see me. Nobody disciplined my kids but me. So I mean, my dad was just protective of us.
Yeah, granddad was something. I never forget my granddad. Aunt May, do you remember that water? The water still grow real high in the Dunhoe. I tell people all the time it used to get as high as 8 foot, but for some reason, it was God was looking out for us. It start about 3 foot from that house. What do you think that was all about?
Well, as long as my mom was living and I lived there, my mom was a praying lady. She stayed prayed up. And this water only came but a certain distance. But it never reached to where we lived. It come a certain extension up the road, up the dirt road that is, and it stopped. But when we had to leave, we couldn't leave on a car. We had to leave on a boat. A little fishing boat, not a big sailboat, a little fishing boat.
Do you remember my dad was telling me there was this white man? Do you remember he used when the water would rise, he would come actually to the Dunhoe to pick my dad up and anybody want to ride into over that bridge to buy food or whatever?
Yes, I remember that. I'm just saying they come in and they know we need to get out. They come in with the boat. I mean, that's how close knit my dad was with the peoples in Stantonburg.
Okay, and do you have any regrets, Aunt May, for being raised in the Dunhoe in Stantonburg, North Carolina? I don't have any regrets, Aunt May. I feel like it made me to a better person. Later on in life, I was brought up to trust everyone. I think that hurt me as I became older with things that happened to me in my life. But I still feel good about being raised in that Dunhoe. What do you think about that?
Well, to my perspective, I'm just as strong as the next black woman. Due to the fact is, even though we live so far back, away from, I would say, the world, which we was in the world, but my dad was protected of his children and his grandchildren. So within us, we didn't live with fear. You know, we went anywhere that we wanted to go. We didn't fear the white as well as we didn't fear the blacks.
What do you feel about walking through them woods? You know, we used to do a lot of walking. Red Hill Store. You remember Red Hill Store, Aunt May?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And going through that path, there was big snakes there too. I specifically remember me and my sister that next to me in the age. My dad sent us to the store one day to get him a pack of Lucky Strikes for Honeycutt Grocery. And we got in the deep path through the woods. And when we come out, she was hollering and screaming calls. I remember Leslie Johnson, Will Bynum, and a lot of them was hunting there. And she was scared because the dog was running. I don't know what they were hunting, rats. Not rats, I'm sorry. Rabbits, foxes, squirrels or what. But I know they had a lot of dogs. But anyway, when we came back, we made it through to go to the store, and there's people back then when they do one field such as wheat, when they come across a little path, they plant wheat right in the path, they go right to the next field, right across. Well, the wheat had grown up. When we came back, we seen the wheat just whipping from one side to the other as though it was a dog or something waddling there. It's gonna be a little funny, but I specifically remember Leslie Johnson, him coming and asking us her name was Annie, we called her Weaver. Why was Weaver screaming like that? We seen a rattlesnake. Nobody believed us until Tom McKeel killed that snake. He was rolling. That's how big he was. He was rolling and you could see his fang and he was making that hissing oil. And we had a dog named Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And the rattlesnake bit the dog, and the dog swelled up, but he never died. Well, when we entered through from the wood path, my daddy met us, because he didn't know why we were screaming like that. And he beat the piss out of my sister. I mean, so he stopped us from going through that way, and we would have to go a little way down the dirt road and go through a cow pasture and go through the store. But he would always tell us, don't run, don't wear red, because the cows will run us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know.
Well, Aunt May, I tell you, those is quite something. The quite a story, and the good thing, it is a true story. Aunt May, I remember talking to Mr. Freddie just this morning, actually, and of course, everybody know you.
Yeah.
Everybody know you,
Yeah,
and
strong
everybody,
black woman.
yeah, and everybody know how you are. Uncle Freddie, that place, Aunt May, I don't know how long it's been since you've been back there. That place is just like it. It's still the same look. Hampton went with me this morning. It looks no different. The same water, same trees. Aunt May, everything is intact. Mr. Freddie said that he was threatened when he first decided to protect that property. He said that people actually threatened him because they wanted to turn it into an outlaw place. They didn't want him to actually preserve that place the way it is. And I mean, it's intact. The trees, the flowers, it looked like it. So, do you see yourself going back one day to visit that place?
You know, that would be a kind of hard pill to swallow, because there was a lot of memories back there. I'm doing this today because I love you. There are a lot of things that happened back there that I cannot to remember.
Things like what, Aunt May? Things like what?
I mean, I don't know if I should put this out here, but one of the things is I got raped when I was there.
You got raped in the house?
No, outside. You was just telling me that there's a large tree that sit right there. If you can remember, it used to be a muse stable.
Yeah, I remember.
And there was a big tree that sat there.
Yeah.
But there was a big snake that lived in there. But I specifically mean, I remember my aunt, my mama's next to the oldest sister, was living to help take care of my mom. During that time, I was only 12 and I was young. And her boyfriend had came to see her.
Your mom? Your mom?
No, my mom's sister.
Oh.
Boyfriend had came to see her, and I was raped. And she begged me, don't tell my daddy.
You didn't tell Granddad about it?
I didn't tell him due to the fact, she told me if I let him tell him that I would never see my dad no more, that he would go to prison and they would kill him for killing another man. So
well,
my daddy died not knowing that his oldest child was raped at 12 years old by a grown man.
You know, Granddad he was pretty mean, you know.
I know.
Granddad, I used to follow Granddad around, you know. Granddad didn't take a lot of mess. And
I know.
I'm so sorry, Aunt May. I never knew you to tell me that up until now. So I always wonder, you know, when I was talking to you on the phone not too long ago, you said it had some bad memories, but I had no idea that happened to you as a little girl.
Yes.
Well, but as you grew in life, you always had that pain within yourself. You never told anyone until now. Did anybody ever find out?
When I went into my second marriage, I told my husband.
You told your husband that you married to now, Uncle Doodle?
Yes.
You told him about it? Well, I'm so sorry. What happened to the lady that threatened you? That's a threat for you not to tell.
That was my aunt. That was my mom's sister.
What happened to her?
She passed away.
She passed away?
Yes.
What else can you remember? I knew there was a lot of pain that was brought up in the Dunhoe, Aunt May.